Now you have a direct line of consumers just walking in with a little pre-survey that says that they potentially can have bipolar, ADHD, stress, anxiety, any of those categories, and they just need to take this assessment tool and say, okay, that basically that is what you have, and here's your drug.
Gli psichiatri ora stanno spingendo per rendere tali strumenti di accertamento obbligatori. Considera gli screening agli adolescenti, camuffato da programma di prevenzione del suicidio. I test della salute mentale vengono amministrati nelle scuole per diagnosticare e somministrare farmaci ai bambini. Bambini come Chelsea Rhodes, che è andata a scuola la mattina come un adolescente normale ed è tornata a casa con una diagnosi psichiatrica.
The Rhodes family in Indiana, their young girl went to school one day, and all of a sudden they told her they were taking her into her room, and they move her into her room and give her the 10-minute teen screen test. And shortly after taking the test, she's pulled aside in the hallway and she's told she has two problems, basically two mental problems. One, obsessive compulsive disorder, and social anxiety disorder.
Her parents were stunned, dumbfounded. They didn't know the teen screen was going to screen their child. They had not been asked permission.
People at school had told her that she was mentally ill with these two conditions based off of a computer test that took her 10 minutes to answer. One of the questions was worded if Chelsea went out a lot. She answered no. We'd ask her why she answered that way. She said, because Mom, you and Dad don't allow us to go out on school nights. I have to be home to do my homework and take care of our household chores. The other question was, do you ever feel nervous or anxious when you're in front of a group of your friends or peers? Chelsea answered yes. She explained to us that because when she has to stand up in front of a group of people and give a book report in one of her classes, she's very nervous. You know, I'm 43 years old and I'm nervous in front of every one of you today, but that doesn't make me mentally ill.
I absolutely believe that the survey for Teen Screen was intentionally structured to flag as many children as possible as having a possible mental health problem.
Chi ha creato gli screening per gli adolescenti è scritto il sondaggio. Il dottor David Schaffer, uno psichiatra con estesi legami con l'industria farmaceutica. Il questionario di Schaffer è tutt'altro che scientifico. In uno studio che lui stesso ha condotto, Schaffer ha ammesso che l'84% degli studenti erano stati falsamente segnalati come suicidi. Ma ciò che non era stato ammesso era quanto traumatiche potessero essere le conseguenze. Alia Gleason aveva solo 11 anni quando ha fatto il test dello screening in una scuola media in Texas.
It was 7th grade, and they had all the girls go into the cafeteria because they said that a lot of girls have depression, so they was working on some depression screen.
Next thing I know, there's those middle schools tell my husband now that CPS is there at the school, taking a layer because she's suicidal.
I'm like, suicide? I'm not trying to kill myself. I love myself. I've always loved myself.
So I don't know if she was even at the school or they already taken her away.
When they took a layer, my girls and I, we didn't sleep for about a good 3 days, for the first 3 days, because my house was empty without her.
And they was making me sign papers talking about if you don't take these medicines, you can't see your parents. So they was telling me, you know, if you take your medicine, you can see your parents.
My daughter was on 22 different types of medication that this one psychiatrist gave her.
They drugged me up so bad that they said they had to drag me. And I used to wonder how I got to my room.
When I saw for myself what they were giving her and how much and how often, I just thought, they're gonna kill this child. And the parents were helpless.
Then after a while, that's when I was just like, I'm not about to take no more medicine until I call my parents. And then that's when they was like, okay, well, we're gonna give it to you anyways. They restrained me and shot me up. I was in 4 points. They laid me out on my stomach with my feet like this and tied me up.
One day, they must have put her in about 12 restraints in one day.
They said I was restrained about 70 or 80 times. After a couple of months, they was like, you know, your parents don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you or anything. So I was really hurt.
We tried everything. Nobody we didn't know what hospital. We didn't even know where they taking her.
After 2 weeks, she's supposed to hear Oh, you're supposed to be able to see your child. They didn't give me that. I didn't see a layer till 6 months later.
But I was a good child. I didn't deserve for that. And he messed up a lot of things. To this day, I still wish that I could just go back and be like, man, you know what, I'm not even gonna take the test.
I would always tell every parent I see, they was ask me, don't do the team screening, because it will mess up your family.
I programmi di screening psichiatrici come questo si stanno diffondendo. Quello per gli adolescenti da solo sta esaminando migliaia di scolari in oltre 500 scuole americane in 43 stati.
Has nothing to do with helping kids, has nothing to do with mental health, has nothing to do with medicine. It has everything to do with the pushing of drugs.
So it presents itself as being a wonderful, altruistic program, whereas in fact, I believe its cold-blooded and cold-hearted intent is to recruit more children into the very subjective diagnoses of mental illness and to treat those kids with medication.
Ma la spinta degli psicofarmaci non finisce nella classe. È stata emessa della legislazione per esaminare tutti i cittadini per malattie mentali, inclusi i pazienti in geriatria, veterani della guerra e madri incinta. Il tutto deve essere pagato da voi.
Psychiatrists benefit from both ends, from the pharmaceutical end for being paid to write the prescription, and then from the patient for being there to receive the prescription.
It's an industry that cannot allow the human condition to go unmedicated, and I think this is where the problem begins.
If everybody considers themselves to be sick in some way or more than one way, and that the only control, the only hope for their happiness is to be on pills for the rest of their lives, that's the goal.
The pharmaceuticals and the psychiatric community are in a cleanup, and that's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with helping our kids or, you know, their mental health. It's all about money.
Oggi le case farmaceutiche spendono oltre 5,3 miliardi di dollari all'anno per il marketing dei farmaci psichiatrici, quasi 9 volte in più dell'ultimo decennio. Il risultato? Le vendite mondiali di psicofarmaci sono salite alle stelle fino ad 80 miliardi di dollari. Il tutto mentre gli psichiatri ignorano volontariamente l'ampia tragedia umana che stanno creando.
I'm 10 years old, and I'm going to read, I think, the side effects of a drug called Triana.
The drug Adderall. Luvox. Cymbalta.
Gyudon. Lexapro.
Namenda.
I have a question.
Where do I find the side effects?
How do I read it if it's so small?
Just a bunch of letters squished together.
I can't read this. This is the side effects of the drug.
Side effects. Stroke.
What the heck?
Speech disorder.
Eye disorders, vision blurred.
Dry mouth. Nervous.
Tremor. Dizziness, delirium, and coma.
Tardive dyskinesia.
They experience worsening of their depression.
Aggressive reaction.
Paranoid reaction.
Psychosis.
Serious cardiovascular events.
Other serious heart problems.
Heart failure.
What?
Suicidal thoughts. Suicidal thinking and behavior.
Increases the risk of suicide.
An increased risk of death.
Sudden death.
These guys must be kidding.
Wow. This is gross.
Seeing this on a warning label, does anybody have any clue what they're putting their kids into?
This isn't good.
No drug has side effects. They're all effects. Side effect is just a way that doctors explain away the effects that they don't like or you won't like, but they're effects.
These are the effects of these drugs. They're not just what might happen to you, they're what happen more often than not.
We name them side effects because they're an unintended consequence.
The antidepressant drugs not only don't make you happy, they have all kinds of negative effects on the system as a whole.
These drugs are absorbed and distributed throughout your entire body, so they have side effects through all of your tissues and organs. including your liver and your kidneys and your nervous system.
They destroy the brain, the neural net. They literally kill brain cells and cause all kinds of brain disorders. That's why we have they're not side effects, they're direct effects.
Mentre gli psichiatri minimizzano continuamente con il pubblico i molti gravi rischi per la salute, non hanno nessun problema ad ammetterli onestamente davanti alle nostre telecamere.
I think I tell them the main side effects. I don't tell them every side effect because there are so many possible side effects.